Hi Ashutosh, how are you? I'm also fine. Thanks, Amritpal Singh. Okay, so Ashutosh, tell me your query about open source and on which topic you want an information or guide. Okay, and you are in which college and at which year? So basically, I was in second year when I started my open source journey through a program called as Outreachy. Okay, you are passed out. That's great. So, are you finding job or want to, get hired as an international internship like in GSOC? But I think you are not eligible for Google Summer of Code because that's only for student. Okay, then you can take part in Outreachy, which is an 3 months international internship with the high rated organizations like Mozilla, Haiku, and there are so many. So you are interested in open source. So basically, first thing you need to find your interest, like in which type of project you developed an interest. For example, if I talk about myself, I have so much interest in operating system, like how operating systems work. So in my journey at the time of outreach, um, I got selected under an Haiku organization, and Haiku is also an operating system in which I worked on input preferences project. Okay, so first thing you need to find your interest in which type of product or project you have an interest. Only then you can contribute to an open source because sometimes it becomes difficult for us, like without getting any paid, we are contributing to an open source project, right? So, did you know about open source project, or I need to explain that first? Okay, so there are so many organizations that you can find on internet. Okay, so the first thing is okay, you don't know how to start. So all the the code or any script of an open source project is present on GitHub or Gerrit. Like my organization used Gerrit for code reviewing purposes. So basically, first you have to find a list of open source organizations that are active on presently, and you can easily find on GitHub, or when you Google it like open source organization, you will find thousands of organizations. Okay, so now wait. So first of all is we need to grasp a knowledge what this particular organization does and what is pre-requesting things I need. Okay, so Each organization has a different criteria, right? So you need to interact with the whole community through a mailing list, or there are channels on Telegram or Slack where you can participate in their discussions, and where will be the senior developers who will be guide you like how to complete your first PR request on GitHub. That can be any small bug or any small new enhanced feature in their project. But as a beginner in open source, I recommend you to first clone a code from their repository present on GitHub, and subscribe to their mailing list. You can find the mailing list on their official website, and you need to subscribe on that. Only then you are able to send emails. So, for example, you haven't subscribed their email yet, but you emailed them, but they will not get your email in their inbox. Okay, so first you need to subscribe their emailing list, and in that list you have to introduce yourself, like your name, what are you doing right now, what are your studies, and what are your interests, why you select that organization, and your any you know a new idea that can be helpful for that organization. Or you can just type in which project you can it like you will work or you are interested. So only then the community member will guide you what are the required, what are the prerequisites, or what are the things you need to know before contributing to that project. I hope now it's clear what is pre-requesting things you need. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, so let's assume that you emailed in their community mailing list, right? And you cloned their code in your local system. And now the third step is uh, just to configure a code. Okay, just try to run their project on your local system. All the features and all the things that you have to understand, like what's it's inside the project. I'm not talking about the coding skills, but on the front end part. Okay, for example, we use LinkedIn. uh, we know their features, like you have to post there, and you can send messages like there. Okay, just the front end part. So there is a diagram in your brain that this project is working like this. Only then you are able to understand the code. Okay, and now the fourth step will be just like uh, just read the code, not exact like in a deep, but just get an overview of the files and the basic coding. And you have to do one crazy thing is you have to you you can make your hands playing on a code, or you can delete any file from the whole repository. Just delete one file, or just erase a few lines of a code in any file, so that when you can configure it, you will be confident there that you misplace something in a code, you get an error, and only then you are able to understand what's inside the code. I think you are getting my point. Please give me a thumbs up in a chat if I'm right. Okay. So we misplace the code. Okay, and after compiling it, you get an error like these things are missing in your code. So there will be something that's also missing in the project when you run it again. Some like any functionality or or the something will not work properly as it should be. Okay, so that will be your the first step towards an open source project. If I talk about myself, in my second years of bachelor's degree, when I got selected in Outreachy, so I didn't know about an open source, right? I didn't know about how these organizations work and how I can manage myself in this. So in my project, first thing I do is I raise certain code in, random code in random files, and from where I get to know about like this file is useful for that interlinking thing. And here the point, we how we can understand the code exactly, and how we will continue our work regarding solving our bug or enhance, or creating a new feature using a coding, whether it's front end or back end. Okay, so this way you will understand all the architecture, how the files are interlinked with each other. And uh, don't worry, if destroy your code, you can download it again from GitHub. I think you know about GitHub and how to clone the code or not. Yeah, so you can get that code again. So this thing will take, um, you know for some it's few weeks, and for some is few months, and for some is one whole year. Like I have seen many people who are working hard to contribute to open source, and took around 1 year to get, clear their first PR. And when you understand the code not properly but just an architecture, now it's time to talk with your mentor or talk with your community regarding that project. Okay, so you can find a simple easy bugs on their website, from which you can select one and start working on it. Or secondly, if you have a new idea in your mind regarding that project, you can, you know uh, give your idea to your community and wait for their approval. If this happened, then it would be a great, because you can write all these things in your resume, and your resume will boost at the time of, uh, hunting a job, or getting hired a good job. Um, so this is all about how you can start it. um, I I didn't believe that you need, good knowledge of programming languages in a deeper side. If you have an overview, or if you know the basics of any programming languages, then you can start contributing to an open source project, and there will be a mentor, there will be a whole community who will help you uh, throughout your journey. And the only thing is, how we can get the help from a community is to write your issue, write your problem, attach a screenshot or sometime a video in their community mailing list, so that they get to know about what you are facing in that project, and only then they will guide you. So this is all about how you can start. And yeah, this is all. And if you have any another query, then you can ask me here. And one thing, if you have an experience in coding, okay, you can also participate in Outreachy. Basically, Outreachy is like one of, famous open source internship. Like it's just for 3 months, and but there are, less chances for get selected. Like thousands of people participate in that platform, but only like 40 to 41 students got selected. So you can see how much competition is there. Um, so if I talk about the environment, then it depends upon a community to community. Okay. So some community members are really very helpful, even though they help you in doing a coding in your 3 months internship. And just keep updated about an, outreachy applications where you can apply. And yeah, I can review your applications too. If you want from my side or any help regarding that, you can ping me on LinkedIn, as you do always. Okay, so you have a knowledge in C++ and Java. Okay, so they are my community too working in using a C++, and there you can find so much organizations in Google Summer of Code website too that are participating in GSOC. But I think you are now not a student, so you are not eligible for that. You are only eligible for Outreachy. And yeah, so they paid much to like 600 no, like $6,000 for 3 months, and I think it's a big amount plus a a trip to any conference. Like I attended a FOSDEM conference which held every year in Europe, and that was a wonderful experience. So if you got selected, or if you are a part of an organization in open source organization, so there are so many opportunities. Okay, so for example, you can be a role model for someone, for new beginner. Okay, and secondly, you can you can become a mentor in Google Summer of Code or in Outreachy via the organization, and you can also be nominated in an open source events like there are so many. For example, I was nominated in Red Hat Women's Award. So there are so many, career paths if you are the member of one of that open source organization. Because working with thousands of people, 10,000 of people, it's it's a big deal. Okay, so that reflects that you have unique capabilities. Only then you are a member of that great organization. So this is all about like open source project. What are the career paths about after that you can get hired also in a good companies or in that same organization too. So this is all about open source. Yeah, in initial days you will find it difficult or bored, or you also have thoughts in your mind like I should drop it. It's not. It's a difficult, not easy, or you will find it not interesting. But trust me, when you resolve your first easy bug, you will find confident, and you want to work more and more with that organization. You will develop new connections with an international developers or the great developers who have many years of experiences about coding, and then you would get an opportunity to learn more about their journey from them, or an coding experiences from there, and what are the strategies to get the job at a high platform. So if you have any further queries, and do let me know, because texting in LinkedIn becomes something sometimes become hectic, and here you can ask me any query regarding this line, computer science line. Okay. So thank you so much. If you get all my points, and if you worked on that, then you will be successfully one day a member of a great organization. So, should I end this live stream if you have no further queries? Yeah, soon. I also believe that you will be one out of them. Okay, so thanks, Ashutosh, for joining this live session. Um, Great to talk with you. Thank you so much. Bye.